Almost 2 years ago, I watched a 48-hour special covering the 1991 yogurt shop murders that happened here in Austin, Texas. At the time, it was just past the 30th anniversary. At the time that I edit this video, the case is still unsolved. Now, during my visit that year, I didn't think to record any footage. I wasn't planning to make a YouTube video over this or anything like that. What I did was what I normally do when I do filming locations is I go and I get now shots to then make then and now comparisons. How did the yogurt shop that resided in that shopping plaza off of Anderson Lane, how did it look in 1991 compared to how does it look today? How did that entire corner look? So that's what this video is all about. I'm going to show you some then and now photo comparisons from crime scene photos that were taken that night, that week, the next day, and talk a little bit about the case while we're here. If you've ever been to this location, you know there's a memorial plaque right out front of where the shop storefront once stood, which honors and keeps the memory alive of the 4 teenage girls that tragically and brutally lost their lives that fateful night in December of 1991. And unfortunately, to this day, going on 33 years, the case remains unsolved.
It was almost as if the whole town hurt the night of December 6th. The news was unreal. 4 teenage girls, each shot in the head and severely burned. Their bodies left inside a local yogurt shop. The murders gripped the city like never before. The very next day, you saw people drawn to the crime scene, carrying flowers, carrying notes, trying to make sense of the senseless.
Yes, and even after 30 years, people like myself are still drawn to the crime scene, trying to make sense of this senseless crime. Here is the plaque that stands right out front of the site where the yogurt shop once stood. And there, the 4 victims are named: Amy Ayers, aged 13 years old, Sarah and Jennifer Harbison, 15 and 17 years old, and Eliza Thomas, also 17. Eliza and Jennifer were employees at the yogurt shop, and Amy and Sarah were just inside waiting on Jennifer to get off work to get a ride home from her. Here in this then and now comparison, lead homicide detective for the Austin Police Department, John Jones, revisits this location. I think this was around the 30th anniversary, so this is probably sometime in 2021. And then the photo to the right is my shot when I visited at the end of August of 2022. So here's a shot from within the patrol car of John Jones on the night of, in December of 1991. After he receives a call that they have found bodies, he heads that direction. He actually has a cameraman riding along with him. They're filming something completely unrelated. So I took that screenshot and I recreated it again in August of 2022. And as you can see, there are some noticeable changes, especially tree growth, but that is most definitely the same chevron and the same signage of the Hillside Center shopping center right there on the corner. Here's one of the first crime scene shots of the fire department after they put the fire out, and that's what the storefront, that's the exact same angle, looks like today. Here's a head-on shot right after the fire was put out, then and now. If you look closely, you can tell that the same light fixture on that left column there. Another head-on shot, just taken from further back. This one is taken just to the right, showing the same police officers. So you see more of the glow nails today, that storefront there on the left. Now this one was taken directly head-on, right in front of the door of the yogurt shop. And there was a memorial right in front with some flowers and some crime tape. And today it is the beauty bar and lounge. It's the exact same store facing, and there's the address there. This one shows some firefighters to the left and what looks to be fire hoses going through the front entry, I guess to help put the fire out. And there's what that exact same shot and area looks like today. Working our way in a little closer, this is the front door of the yogurt shop. You can actually see the interior of what it looked like. That was either the night of or the next morning, but that's the inside of the yogurt shop. You can even see the yogurt sign right on top of that trash can. And then of course, this is that exact same area. There's been significant changes done to the front facing of that building, but that's what it looks like today. Of course, I could not get in or get the exact same shot, but that's what it would look like today. Okay, so here is an actual inside shot, interior shot of the yogurt shop. It's clear as day. I was really excited to find it. Now, at the time of my visit, the beauty bar lounge, it was closed. I think it was a Sunday. But I put my phone up to the window and I was able to get this shot, which I think works for a good then and now comparison. So that's what the inside of that storefront looks like today. So going back and paying more attention to the front of the store where the logo, the signage, I can't believe it's yogurt, was tacked on there. Looking at that photo and then looking at where that is today, where the beauty bar and lounge signage is, if you look closely, you can still see the indentions from where the lettering for the "I can't believe it's yogurt" letters and the words were mounted on the wall. You can see the indentions. The original indentions, or like the grooves from the signage, is still there. See, anytime I go to a location that has multiple storefronts and it's just not clear where exactly an event or a filming production took place. It could be this storefront or this one or that one. And there's always this doubt, right? If the previous evidence I've shown prior to this in this presentation wasn't enough, this right here solidifies that this particular storefront at 2949 West Anderson Lane in Austin, Texas, at the Hillside Center Shopping Plaza, that's exactly where the yogurt shop incident happened, in that exact unit. So there's no confusion if anyone happens to ever visit there and they're like, which unit is it? Because they all look the same. And with the ever-changing hands of the businesses that have come in and out of this plaza, as well as the updating of the storefronts, it does make it confusing. So being able to pinpoint these permanent fixtures that identify that one key unit as where the incident happened, you can walk away without any doubts. Now, talking a little about what happened. What happened on that night in December? So here's a floor plan interior of the yogurt shop. Okay, so the intruders came and they sat. There's two suspects that sat at these booths to the top left corner, right as you get into the front of the doors to the left. There's tables in the center, the booths on the left, booths on the right. Well, there's two guys that were spotted by customers in the booth that's closest to the cash register. After they closed, they started their closing procedures, but they didn't finish them. And this is where something happened. This is where the start of the incident happened. And based on the evidence and where the bodies were, it was surmised that the two suspects, had taken the girls hostage at gunpoint to the back area of the shop, past the walk-in cooler, and there was the officers in the back. It was locked, and at some point they executed them and stacked their bodies on pretty much on top of each other. As you can see in this little layout here, this is how their bodies were found. Well, Amy didn't die right away when she took the bullet. She managed to crawl out of her position in the stack of bodies of her peers, and was crawling toward the bathroom where eventually she expired there. The perps then at some point set the area on fire using whatever they had found on the shelves back there, and they got out through that back door. Now, during my last visit, I was determined to find those back doors because I wanted to see them for myself. I wanted to like put myself there 31 years ago at the time, and just imagine these perpetrators, because they're still unknown. This case is unsolved, but I find myself fascinated with the case, and I wanted to be at the doors that the perpetrators exited. For whatever morbid reason, I just kind of wanted to see, like, flashback in time and kind of envision these guys, making their way out and forever getting away with this. And just beyond those doors are where 3 of these innocent teenagers lay dead. And it's just really sad. So yeah, this question still remains: who killed these girls? I do plan on making a follow-up video, meaning I'm going to visit the grave. I've yet to visit the graves of these 4 young ladies, and they are here close by me, here in Central Texas. But as far as an update, this is it. There's been some 2022 DNA results. The advanced DNA technology was going to bring investigators closer than ever to solving this crime, but here we are 2 years later, and still nothing. As far as I know, nothing. So Biden signed some rights act into law, and it was all motivated by this case. It was going to ensure that the law enforcement reviews cold case files and applies the latest technologies and investigative standards. Logistics are not clear in the bill. However, it states that a request can be made for a cold case review by federal agencies. I mean, what exactly does that mean? What is that doing for this particular case? I do firmly believe that we will get an answer soon. I've watched a lot of cold case stories on TV, being a true crime junkie, and I've seen a lot of very old cases get solved 30, 40, 50 years later with DNA. So I'm confident this will be one of them, and I'm really looking forward to it. So again, thanks for following me along on this one. This case kind of hits home, and it happened close by. And I'm looking forward to them finding the names of who was behind this. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.